Hi everybody, thanks for coming back to my channel. Today's video I wanted to do the eyeshadow palette tag. You guys know I love my eyeshadow palettes, they're my faves, but I also ranked them and I will list that in the cards for you to go check out. It was a really fun video, but now I kind of want to categorize them. So I have all my notes as usual and my palettes right here. So without further ado, let's get into the tag. So the first prompt, I guess, is your newest palette. Now the newest palette that I got was the ABH or Norvina palette. This is the Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 3. Holy crap, that was a long video. Name. Oh my god. This is what it looks like, and I did a really pretty blue look the other day because I really wanted to use that mint blue. But look at how pretty it is. It's so freaking cute and little, and this is also going to be in another category, so you'll see it again. But I just love the colors of this. It's so nice. I'll definitely do a video with this eventually. First impressions are it's just as good as the big ones, and I love this packaging. Even with the bigger volume 3, I think the packaging on these are just so nice. The next prompt is your oldest palette, so that would be the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. How cute is this little stinking palette? I love it. Here's what the inside looks like. I have used quite a bit of it. Now I did just show all these palettes in my ranking my palettes, so I won't go too much into detail, but I will list that in the cards like I said. But yeah, this was definitely the oldest palette in my collection. I honestly don't even remember buying it or looking at it online. I don't remember any of that, so I don't remember what triggered it other than it probably had a few pops of colors and the neutrals were kind of cool and it was just a little bit different. But yeah, this is my oldest palette for sure. The most expensive palette is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pigment Volume 3, so this is a bigger one, and like I said, this packaging is gorgeous. But yeah, this was like $60, and I definitely waited until it was on sale for VIB, but it's still my most expensive in my collection for sure. Then the next prompt is my most affordable palette is definitely the Maybelline Gigi Hadid. This palette was $4.99. I bought it at Marshall's. This is what it looks like. This is the price tag, just so you can see. It was $4.99, so this is definitely my most affordable palette. My everyday palette, I can't pick just two because I like to have a mix of both things. But we are going to go with the Picante palette for when I want warmth, because it's got everything you need. It has such a good mix of shimmers and mattes, which I really like. There are 21 colors, and I don't know, I feel like it's 11 and 11 probably. I should actually count that out. But I just love the color story in this, and I've done a lot of different looks with this, and I continue to be very impressed by this palette. I did have the 21 matte palette, but I decluttered it because I didn't like the mattes in that palette. I don't know, for some reason that one was more chalky and dry and not as easy to blend as this one. But this one's so nice for every day, and I really need to. Lately I've been pulling this out a lot more, probably because it's the summertime and I like to use these colors during that time, but really all year round. And then also I had to include the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette because I like the golds in here. And it's just got a lot going on, and it's so pretty. Again, I talked about this a lot, so you guys know my love for it. The most colorful palette, if you guys saw my ranking my palettes video, which again, it'll be linked, you would know that the BH Zodiac palette is my absolute favorite colorful. I love the formula of this. I love the layout. The shadows are so pretty and pigmented, and it's got such a nice range of color. These matte purples are done so well, and the greens are really nice in here. It's got everything. It also has some neutrals here, which are really fun to play with as well. I love using this as my most colorful palette for sure. I use the crap out of that. This is a 5-pan palette, so this is my smallest palette actually, and I didn't even think of that. Clearly I didn't do a good job when I thought about this stuff, but yeah, this is the smallest palette, and the cheapest palette, that is for sure. I really should use this again. Look at how pretty. I just am not really a fan of the formula, but I keep it around just because it's so pretty. Palette with the best memory, I would have to mention again the Norvina palette because it came out around my birthday, I want to say, first of all. Second of all, they did this thing where it was like, oh, 3-day shipping, get yours today, or something like that for like their release. It did not take 3 days to get here. It took longer than that, and I remember I was really upset about it because I really wanted it, and then when it finally came, it was so pretty to look at. I mean, it is so nice. So I'm very happy with this purchase, and this was definitely a good memory and a bad memory because it took longer than 3 days, but like the package I almost thought was lost, and I was pretty disappointed, but yeah, I worked hard to get this thing, okay? Palette that is worth the hype. Okay, I know you can't get this anymore, but I was thinking that it's in my collection, so that's kind of how I was thinking about it, is the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. If you can find this on eBay or Mercari or anywhere, I highly recommend picking it up. I like this one way better than the Midnight Festival palette, and it's so pretty. Everybody was raving about this. Actually, I don't really like quite remember that, but I feel like now a lot of people are raving about it still to this day. And I mean, how could you not? It just has like every color. I love it, love it, love it. Such good formula, and the shimmers perform and the mattes perform, and it's just really nice. The next prompt is the palette not worth the hype. Now, I feel like people went bonkers for the ColourPop whatever palette, and I have used every color in this palette, and I just feel like it's okay. Like, I feel like I like the shades in my Carity palette a little bit better, and it's kind of the same color story actually now that I think about it, but I don't know, it's just like, I feel like they could have done so much better with the formula and the shimmers, and I could do without this pressed glitter. ColourPop, why are you doing pressed glitters? Nowadays everybody does cream glitters, or they should really get on that train. But yeah, I don't really reach for it as much anymore because I'm not into it. There was a time when I was into it. I was using it like every day. It's got like modern Renaissance vibes to that warm toned situation, but yeah, I don't get it. Like, I like other formulas a lot better than this ColourPop one in particular. The next prompt is the favorite palette from a brand, and again, I'm gonna mention the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. I have many BH palettes, as you guys know. I actually ranked all of my BH Cosmetics palette, so I'll list that in the cards for you to watch as well. And this one is just the best of the best. Like, the formula just performs. It is there to perform, and I've shown this a million times, so we're moving on. This is the palette that I have used every single shadow in, and you might be surprised because it is a rather colorful palette, but I've definitely used everything in here, so I love playing around with this. It's so much fun, so colorful. Kind of tempted to get the Wired palette, but not right now. I don't need any more colorful shadows, that is for sure. And for honorable mention, I did just want to mention the Alamar Cosmetics palette and the Juvia's Place palette. These guys are really good formulas, and they're so pretty. Let me just show you what this is. A Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place. You have your 2 rows of color, your 2 rows of mattes, a great mixture of shimmers and mattes, and I love this. It definitely needed a mention. And then also the Alamar Cosmetics palette. Those shimmers are gorgeous. The mattes are so buttery. I love them. And yeah, that was the palette tag. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. By the way, if there was a category for the biggest palette, it would just be like my ABH, BH, or Juvia's Place as the biggest palettes. I don't have anything bigger than that. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun looking at all my palettes, and I'll be sure to list some of my girls down below who I want to see do this tag. So I know my girl Donna already did it, so I'm like in the process of watching it, and I stopped to film this. Sorry girl, I'm going back to it though, don't worry. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!